Welcome to JDK Video. I'm doing a little something different here today. We are getting real close. We're less than a week away from the draft, and I just want to do a little mock draft here for my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is just kind of how it plays out for me. I'm not saying this is how I think it's going to go. I'm not a professional. I'm just a normal guy like anyone else who likes doing these mock drafts and just see how it could play out. And my goal here is just kind of see what I can get, to play out for me. So I'm going to get this all set up. I'm using the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. I'm going to do all 7 rounds. I'm going to go fast, but I'm going to try and stop it at certain times. So bear with me. We're going to do what we can, try and get this done as fast as we can. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to use all 12 of their picks that they have in this draft. There's a good chance they're going to trade a bunch of stuff away. If that's the case, like I said, this is just how it's playing out for me. I may take all 12 picks, but I am going to try and trade up at certain times. So let's enter the draft room. All right. And Las Vegas is on the clock. I'm going to hit start, and then I'm going to pause it, hopefully around 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we are at pick 13. Not bad. I was hoping to get it a little sooner, but pick 13 can work. The Los Angeles Rams pick at 13. The players left are Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, Spencer Fano, Monroe Freeling, Vega Ione, Kenyon Sadiq, Dylan Thieneman, Caden Proctor, Omar Cooper Jr., Emmanuel McNorton, Neil Warren. I would love to trade up for Caleb Downs. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and offer a trade to the Los Angeles Rams. And we're going to see how this plays out. So Los Angeles Rams, we want 13. We will give you 21, and we will give you 76 and 121. How about if I give you 135 instead? They'll take 135. So I'm giving up my first round pick this year, my first third round this year, and my second fourth round this year to move up to number 13. I'm going to make this trade. I'm going to unpause. People trying to trade with me. I trade up for a reason. I got Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State. Excuse me. All right. Pretty much I'm going to let this play out from here on out. Unless I get some kind of outstanding trade offer. I'm not going to trade out of the second round, so I'm going to reject that one. They want me to trade out of the second round. No, they want me to trade out. So I'm not going to take any of those. But I see plenty of guys left that I would love to have. So I got my safety of the future, a guy who could probably play 10 years for me. Caleb Banks, defensive lineman, Florida. Chase Bizantis, interior offensive lineman from Texas A&M. Emmanuel Pregnon, interior offensive lineman. Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker out of Texas Tech. Those are the big ones. And then there's some wide receivers. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna take Chase Bizantis. I think guard is very important, and I feel like this is a strong draft for wide receiver. I think I can get me a wide receiver or two later in the draft. So I'm going to draft Chase Bizantis, interior offensive lineman from Texas A&M. I'm going to let this run. We traded our first third round pick, so it's going to run for a little bit before we get to our second pick. We're round 3, pick number 85. Let's see what we have to work with. So right off the bat, there's some running backs we have no interest in. Big Citrus, Dominic Orange, defensive lineman from Iowa State. Keith Abney, the second cornerback out of Arizona State. Here's one that interests me. Elijah Surratt, wide receiver, Indiana. He was technically the number 1 wide receiver, even though Omar Cooper Jr. got a lot more play, or a lot more big plays and everything. He was technically the number 1. And I think he is a good fit for the Steelers. I think he could do some interesting things for us. So I'm going to go ahead and draft Elijah Surratt, wide receiver, Indiana. And it is done. All right, we're running through some more picks. Now we are at pick 99. Let's see what we have to work with. Davison Igbenosum, Garrett Nussmeier. I swear, if they draft Garrett Nussmeier, I will rip every hair out of my head. Sam Hecht, interior offensive lineman, Kansas State. Skylar Bell, wide receiver, UConn. Daryl Jackson Jr., defensive lineman out of Florida State. I think that would be a really good fit in Pittsburgh. Big guy sticked in the middle, a couple of safeties, but we got our safety of the future. No one else is really. I mean, there's a lot of good players here, but nobody hitting for me that I feel like I need. So I think with this pick, I'm going to go ahead and take Daryl Jackson Jr., defensive lineman out of Florida State. Let this play out. This should take us into the 4th round. All right, 4th round, pick 121. Atlanta wants to trade the next pick and a 7th round. We don't need another 7th round pick. The Rams are trying to trade this for the 135 pick that we traded to them earlier, plus a 6th round in this draft and a 7th round next year. I don't think we need any more picks in this draft. We've got plenty, so I'm just going to reject that one too and see what we have to work with. All right, so let's see what we have so far. We have Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. Chase Bizantis, interior offensive lineman out of Texas A&M. Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana. And Daryl Jackson Jr., a defensive lineman out of Florida State. So let's see what we are working with. They are suggesting a running back out of Washington, which I have no interest in. A cornerback, Malik Muhammad, cornerback Julian Neal, safety Genesis Smith, interior offensive lineman Logan Jones. Other than that, no one really hitting the number for me. There is a tackle further down, but I think I can wait on him. So I think what I would like to do here is I think I'm going to draft Julian Neal, cornerback, Arkansas. He should be a good fit with us, work him into the slot a little bit, and hopefully put up some big numbers for us this year. All right, we're moving through. 5th round, pick 161. They're suggesting Michael Trigg, a tight end from Baylor. We do need a tight end, but I don't think he fits what we really want. There's a couple tackles that I am interested in, though. Trey Zoom III out of Texas A&M is an offensive tackle. Cage Casey, an offensive tackle out of Boise State. Jude Bowery, an offensive tackle out of Boston College. No one else really hitting the numbers for me. There is a player I would love to get in the next round. I think I would like to go with Cage Casey, offensive tackle out of Boise State. I'm going to draft him. I'll do one more pick and then I'll give you an update on everyone we've gotten so far again, and we're just going to keep moving on down the line, see how this goes. I think I just missed the guy I was hoping for. That sucks. All right. I'm going to check on what we've gotten so far. So we've got Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. Chase Bizantis, an interior offensive lineman from Texas A&M. Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana. Daryl Jackson Jr., defensive lineman out of Florida State. Julian Neal, a cornerback out of Arkansas. And Cage Casey, an offensive tackle out of Boise State. We've got 4 picks left. Let's see what we can get. There's Jack Kelly out of BYU. He's someone I'm interested in. Justin Jefferson, a linebacker out of Alabama. Red Murdoch, a linebacker out of Buffalo. Landon Robinson, a defensive lineman out of Navy. No other real big it's looking like linebackers what I'm going to have to go here. It just depends on which one I want. I like Jack Kelly out of BYU, big stocky guy, good inside linebacker, possibly could be a green dot guy, definitely going to be able to fill holes. So I'm going to take Jack Kelly, linebacker out of BYU. All right, we're back on the clock already. Much of the same people still up there. Don't need a running back. Don't need another interior offensive line. Don't need linebackers. I got edge out of Florida, George Gums Jr. Wide receiver. Nothing I really like here. And of course, there was no trade offers. This is pick 224, so I have one more after this one. I'm going to go with a developmental edge guy, George Gums Jr., and see what he can do for us. You know, you never know. All right, and now on my last pick, where's the guy I want? All right, I'm going to take a tight end out of Indiana, Riley Nowakowski. He can fit in as a fullback or a tight end, much in the way that Connor did for us the last few years. I think he'll be a good player to add on, so I'm going to throw him in there. Oh, wait, no, I have one more pick. Yes. All right, this last pick 237. And I already know who I want with this one. This guy, heard a lot of good things about him. I think he could do some good stuff on our team. Eli Heidenreich. He is a wide receiver / running back out of Navy. I think he could come in and do some good gadget stuff for us. He can play both running back and wide receiver. He can return. I think he's going to be a good pick, so I'm going to go ahead and grab him and let this whole draft finish, and we're going to see where we ended up. All right, so this, like most of them, will grade you. And honestly, we did pretty well. Wow. Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. We got an A for that. I don't understand how we don't get an A+. He is going to be our new Troy Polamalu. He's going to be all over the field doing tons of great things. Chase Bizantis, I got at pick number 53, interior offensive lineman out of Texas A&M. We got an A+ for that. Pick number 85, we got Elijah Surratt, wide receiver, Indiana. Got an A+ for that. Pick 99, Darrell Jackson Jr., A+, defensive lineman out of Florida State. Pick 121, Julian Neal, cornerback out of Arkansas, A+. Pick 161, Cage Casey, offensive tackle out of Boise State, A+. Pick 216, Jack Kelly, linebacker out of BYU, A+. Pick 224, George Gums Jr., edge, Florida, A+. Pick 230, Riley Nowakowski, tight end, Indiana, A+. And pick 237, our last pick of the draft, Eli Heidenreich, wide receiver, Navy, B+. So overall, we got all A+ except for Caleb Downs, which is ridiculous, and Eli Heidenreich, our last pick. It's not exactly how I hoped it would play out, but it played out okay for me. I really would have liked to have gotten another big-time wide receiver, maybe in place of that edge. An earlier linebacker would have made me happier, like Jacob Rodriguez. Someone like that would have been nice. But this is how it played out for me. I've done a couple of these today just to kind of get prepared for it. And honestly, this is one of the best playouts I've had. I missed out on a lot of interior offensive linemen and wide receivers in the first round on some of them today, where I had to stretch or reach on a tackle that we really don't want to take in the first round. We've dedicated first round to tackles twice in the last 3 years. Do we really want to do that again? And I didn't really. I'm not unhappy, but honestly, I almost think it would have been better if I'd have just kept my picks, played it out that way, and taken 2 or 3 full-time receivers instead of 1 full-time receiver and then another guy who's gonna kind of bounce around, do some specialty stuff for us. But honestly, I think adding these players would definitely benefit the Steelers. I think we would be set this season, and things would be moving in the right direction for us. So any of you Steelers fans out there, like this draft, hate this draft, tell me how you feel about it. I was really kind of hoping to make a trade back or two in some instances to pick up some draft capital for next year, and then get some decent players for this year. It didn't really play out that way for us, but I'm really happy with this draft all in all. But that being said, thanks for tuning in. All my black and gold guys out there, get ready for this draft, get ready for this season. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. If you like this kind of content, let us know. Maybe in the future, Kevin and I can get down, we can talk, because he's a Bills fan, I'm a Steelers fan. We kind of bounce ideas off each other. Dave's not much of a football fan, and Garrett only likes fishing and his truck. So, who knows? But, reach out to us, let us know what kind of stuff you like. We are thinking about doing some other things, some fishing videos. We're going to do some camping videos and things of that nature. But just let us know what you're into. Let us know what you're willing to watch. And we're going to try to do some more fun stuff in the future. Thanks, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.